We are here on another episode of This Game Stinks. I am your host, as always, TC, and we're going to be talking Hungering Deep DLC. And I say we because I got my good friend Kyle back in the studio today. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm sure everyone else is doing great because they're listening to our show right now. So, like I said, Hungering Deep, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. All right, so Kyle and myself, and actually my brother, have been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves lately since the new DLCs came out this week. It came out this week, right? I think I was a little late getting to it.
End of May. I think it was 29th.
Oh, so yeah, like right at the end there. So yeah, we jumped right in. I snuck this time and I looked at the Megalodon because we waited so long to fight the damn Kraken last time, and I didn't look at it, and I was kind of disappointed, honestly. I know that we talked about this last night, that you were kind of surprised I was disappointed. I thought I'd see its face and stuff, you know?
I mean, I agree, yeah. They're just like, oh, here's your tentacles, shoot them.
I wanted to jump on the boat and suck somebody off.
Or partially suck part of the boat down, right?
Yeah, or have a beak or something. I don't know, some other aspect. But anyways, we'll talk a little bit about the Kraken again, that bitch, in a second on one of our points. But I mean, do you want to just give me a first impression on the Hungering Deep?
I think with most DLC, there's positives and negatives. I think there's some things they could extrapolate to the entire game, and there's other things that they should never do again. So, I mean, those are just quick. Elaborate. Yeah, I mean, searching for the journals they're fun. I think that if you're going to do a quest and they're riddle related, instead of just saying, hey, chest is here, go find it, instead of you have to solve a riddle to figure out where the next location was, I think that was a good step. They could extrapolate that to the entire game. The fact that you're forcing me to pick up a fifth player that you can't just start the game with, you can start with 4 and you have to go find them. This game isn't really built for a good community to be friendly. It's the Sea of Thieves. It's supposed to be go out there and kill everybody, right?
I mean, I'm a pirate, for God's sake.
Right. So I mean, you know how it went. We spent 2 days doing the DLC, and more times than not, we were dove down to the cave to get one of the drill, came up, our ship was blown to pieces. I'm like, sweet, this is fun. And
yeah, I think so. Part of me thinks the DLC, maybe 2 days. That doesn't seem like a lot of content to me, and we were basically done with it, right? 2 days doesn't seem like that much, but at the same time, when you're thinking about it, you could be getting plundered the entire time by other people that you need for the mission, and that was one of my first points here, is that 5 people, seriously, right?
I'm tired of games forcing me to be friends with other people, because as we've talked about off the show, is Destiny's a great example of that. I have not played the best part of the game because for the raid you need 6 players, and you can't just start up a matchmaking list and play the game. You have to physically find 5 randoms or have a couple friends and then 5 randoms, then go do it. So the same thing with this. You cannot start the game with 5 people. So luckily with Sea of Thieves, you can launch your galleon, put it on public, and your ship will be populated with 4 people. And you're like, all right, we just got to find at least one more person, and we're good to go. But the problem with that, not everybody has the mics. You're not communicating. Not everybody wants to do the same thing.
And hopefully not everyone is a douche.
Right. So you could. I mean, we didn't try this, but we could theoretically start the game and get lucky enough and get 3 other people that.
We'll put him in the brig until he does the Megalodon challenge with us. No, yeah, I know what you mean. And I mean, we're talking on here, and I'm trying to talk community, of course. I mean, I'm trying to build a community myself. So I see where some people want those to be put into the game where you have to meet new people and stuff like that. But I honestly think that the best games let the people that don't want to have to meet new people do their own thing, and let the people that want to build their community and meet new people and play with random people do their own thing. And they kind of take that away from you when you have to find at least one random.
Right. Which we spent 2 hours trying to find somebody.
It was definitely the better part of the DLC. The better part of the DLC was just looking for another group
I mean, I think we started playing at what, 10:30 last night?
Yeah, I thought
And
we were going to finish quick too.
and we found somebody to play with at like 12:15, I believe. So I looked at my phone. I was like, thank God, because I was about to go to bed. And then we finally get down there to start the fight, and it was getting close to 1. And then after, I think everything was said and done, it was about 1:30, I think.
After we lost, and I don't
Right.
know, maybe like there might be a slight correlation of me losing to the shark and making this episode the next day.
Total
Slight
coincidence.
correlation. I'm not going to say that there isn't one, but there might be one. So let's just talk a little bit about the actual meat before the shark.
Okay.
Because we got to find these journal pieces. And you were saying that you liked, and I liked the riddles. That's cool.
Right.
I know it's very difficult to read those riddles with the drunk handwriting. We just read them out loud for fun. Guys, if you haven't done this yet, have one person read the whole thing out loud for fun.
It's a great way to find
It's
which
a lot
one
of
of your
fun.
friends can know how to read and which ones don't.
Well, it's not really fair. It's not fair. This guy can't even spell. Can't even spell. So to me, and I kind of, I mean, you know me. I'm a lazy pirate, guys. You can ask Kyle here.
So accurate.
Yeah, I like to like put my. I'll have to go eat for a second. I'll come back. I'll just leave my pirate spinning underneath the galleon.
While we're getting attacked, mind you.
Well, I don't know that we're getting attacked. I'm eating. I mean, if I knew, I'd run in, but I mean, I don't know. But anyways, and that doesn't happen that much. But just for this story's sake, it did. I thought that finding the pieces was pretty easy, but apparently you guys did a lot of work before I found those pieces. But at the same time, I thought that the shark fight was so hard, and I thought that there should have been more to the story to add to the DLC a little bit.
So, yeah, as you were saying, me and your brother were playing the day before and trying to solve the riddles. And because when we played, it was the day it came out. There was no walkthroughs, no guides. We couldn't look up anything. So we had to, it wasn't super difficult. I mean, if you're not a moron, you should be able to figure it out. Where it says, go to Idiot Island and the 2 trees, and you're like, oh, Fool's Lagoon and Twin Groves or whatever it is. So it takes you a little bit, and then you got to find it. You're like, oh, okay, you have to go here. So that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. I think that's better than saying, hey, go kill this guy on this island, go find this chest on this island. I think that's more fun. It's more engaging, even though it kind of felt dragged out that we had to do all these extra things to go here. And that's why when you played the next day, it was super streamlined for you because I had already done half of it. I knew where to go. Yeah,
I'm just saying, though, like even – and I know we had to drive a lot. I just felt like I was driving all over the map. That was it. That was all the only part of the DLC was I'm driving all over the map too. And I know it's hard to find things on islands sometimes to locate, but it was pretty easy to locate these journals based on the descriptions. I thought once you got to the place you needed to be, you could find it.
The only one that was marginally difficult was the underwater cave because it took me and your brother a little bit to figure out where it was on the island because it doesn't tell you, and you kind of just got to swim around the outside to find it. Because it says something about a golden arch, and there's a bunch of them underwater. It's not just one, so you kind of have to keep searching for it. But outside of that, yeah, they were super, super easy to find.
I'm just saying, I think that to build on the DLC, why not just add some Skelebros, a bunch of them to fight somewhere? You know what I mean? They all pop up as soon as you read it. Maybe they all pop up, or like in that underwater tunnel. What if it was like packed with sharks? Maybe for the shark DLC, something. I don't know. I just felt like the DLC could have had a little bit more punch to the actual story, as much as the shark at the end, the Megalodon, was a pain in the asshole. You know? And speaking of that, on to the next point, you guys, if you're going to go fight this thing, you better make sure to stock up all your stuff.
When me and your brother were playing and we were trying to figure out where the last thing was, and I ended up finding out, I'm like, hey, I read on IGN, somebody completed it. I checked to see how he did it, or not how he did it, but kind of his tips. And he was saying, oh, you should get triple digits for everything. And I was kind of looking at that like, that seems kind of ridiculous. And I think when we arrived last night, I think we had about 70 or 80 planks, had like 150 cannonballs, and then like 50 bananas. I don't think the bananas are as important. But we only lost the DLC because we ran out of planks and couldn't repair the ship anymore.
We did a pretty good job of not getting hit by the shark, I would say. Like, unless he just one shot
Where
at us.
where we could actually shoot him, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's another whole other point. But
yeah. We will
I
come to
think
that soon.
I
But
think the go ahead.
I just wanted to bring up that once we found a crew of 3, they came with us, and that again, guys, this took us forever. We could not
2 hours.
find anybody to do this damn DLC with us. We sat at T26 forever.
Like at least an hour, or no, like 30 minutes, because then we left every time we saw a ship to try to chase them down. But we
Yeah, we were chasing after ships, and some would try to kill us. Some would just be like, "No, I did it already, bro." I'm like, "We're right here. You got the drum. Can't you just come help us?"
just play the drum and leave.
Yeah. Finally ran into a galleon of 3, and they followed us there. But we parked perpendicular so that we wouldn't hit each other with the cannons. We thought we were going to do great. And
Right.
we look over, and our partner's boat is sunk within like the first 5 minutes of the fight.
We had got hit once, and then me and you patched and pailed the boat. They got hit twice in a row, and as soon as they got done tagging, that thing sunk immediately. So they didn't patch. I don't know if we didn't tell them, like, hey, you're going to have to patch this.
Come on, they knew where the shark was. Come on.
I mean,
Maybe they had no supplies. I guess I thought we told them to get, anyway.
We helped them. That was even the worst part. Like, we helped them supply some of their stuff, because when we found them, they had like the bare minimum, like what you get when your boat spawns. So we went to an outpost where we were at, and I was bringing on supplies from their to their boat, because I was like, oh, we're good. Like, we're at pretty decent numbers, and they were like at 30 and everything. I'm like, screw it, I'll just go do that for them. And they get attacked, and they're done. One of them survives and gets on our boat.
Yeah, I saw him on there for a minute.
And I don't know if he died, but he disappeared soon after
Clearly
that.
died. Yeah, he clearly died. Clearly did not make it, and we couldn't even hear him. It was a frantic mess.
It was a hot mess. That's a good way to put it.
And I think us having 3 people kind of hurt us.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot. But I do, once you have everything, it's not too bad to go fight it again, I realized today. It's pretty close to where you can pick the tune up. It's not too far away. It's like a nice 10-minute boat ride.
Yeah, but
from getting the chant from Merrick to the T26.
Yeah, but the other point is, I feel like the game was out to get us, because everywhere we went, we were against the wind, and we're just dead in the water half the time.
That's true. And I felt like it just did it every time. And we were also talking earlier, I was saying, I think we showed up with 6 that might have made the shark stronger, like in Monster Hunter. And for those of you guys who play Monster Hunter, you know that if you show up with more people, the monster's harder. We were thinking maybe the shark might have been harder because we showed up with 6, and 3 of us died immediately. So there's only 3 of us left.
Yeah, I survived the immediate attack. I don't know how I did it. I don't know, because we were all top of the deck, and we were trying to raise the anchor thing, and maybe if we were more mobile, that would be easier, because he kept attacking the ends of the boat. And then he attacked it, and it looked like he chomped on half of it, and half of us died immediately. I was like, oh god, this is not going to be easy.
He does do quite a bit of damage.
No. You think the Kraken does a lot of damage, get bit one time by this son of a bitch, and you got 8 holes in your boat.
And half health.
Yeah.
If you didn't get knocked off. And then there's sharks in the water too. By the way, scariest thing in the game, hands down, getting knocked into the water and that thing's next to you. I was shaking. I'm trying to get back on the boat. Oh my god. I couldn't find the ladder. I was just on the side of the boat. You guys are like, keep paling. I'm like, I am in the water.
That was what our handicap is, having 3 people. That would be one suggestion I would have to people. If you find a crew that's actually willing to do this with you, go onto one boat. I feel like it will be easier to have 3 people shooting constantly and 2 people paling and patching, where we had 2 people patching and paling on our boat and 1 person shooting, because we only had 3 on ours, and then the other boat went down so fast. That would be a suggestion. I think we're going to try that next time we do it.
We also were anchored, and we decided, well, our next point is that it's impossible you're supposed to shoot him as he comes at you guys. So he swims around for a while, and then he swims at you and bites the boat. You're supposed to shoot him in the face with the cannons while he's trying to bite the boat. But I think we did it one time. It's really tough. And he attacks where the cannons aren't, I think, every time.
I don't know if it was a
Almost
glitch, or if, that's how it happens, where he randomly attacks as he circles the boat. But when we were anchored, he was only attacking like the corner of the back and the corner of the front, so we couldn't angle the cannons enough to shoot him. So we're like, you know what, screw it. Let's raise the anchor and we'll turn the wheel and we'll just spin and we'll
we started spinning that bitch.
So we start doing that, and I don't know if it was just because we're spinning as he's circling and he's still kind of hitting the same spot, but we couldn't get him attack the side like at all. So when we tried to shoot him, I mean, I was on top. I'm like, screw this. I pulled out the sniper and was shooting him, but it literally feels like you're shooting like a potato gun at a freight train. Like, it's just not. I was like, oh, I don't know why I'm going to do this, but yeah, why not?
BB gun at an elephant.
Cool. I felt so inadequate trying to shoot him with the sniper.
And then I read that you should. Well, we had to look up. I was like, there's no way this thing's that hard. And people are saying you got to shoot him as he comes at you. You got to keep shooting with your pistols and guns. And we just had 3 people, and we were patching and paling and 1 shooting. So it was kind of a nightmare, honestly. And our guys and our teammates sucked. So that didn't help.
Trying to build that community.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Our teammates were not very good. They died almost instantly. The shark came after us right after. Another thing I was thinking this morning after I was angrily making some show notes, and kind of almost a hint, so it's not really a stinky point, but it's just don't make sure, guys, it says to go to where the sea is red, but don't go that far because your boat will start to sink. So go to T26 and just sit in that quadrant. Don't go all the way to the side of the map, because when he does hit you, he moves you.
No, absolutely.
So, I mean, if he moves you into the red and your boat starts sinking, you better get back out of the red. So yeah, I'm just saying, moving the boat and fighting the shark at the same time is not going to happen.
I feel that, I mean, we don't know this for sure, but I feel like it'd be better to be mobile, but then that's a whole other person that needs to steer the boat. So when you're anchored and he keeps attacking you, he keeps pushing you. So if he keeps pushing you from one side, you're going to end up in the red, and that's even going to be more damage to your boat that the end of the map does, right? So if you get pushed in that while he's attacking, you're basically going to get like 15 holes like immediately, which isn't worth it. So yeah, stay inside of the quadrant box, but be kind of close to the edge of it so you can at least summon him.
I honestly think maybe 5 people is the number, because that could basically 2 people shooting, 1 person driving, paling, and patching.
We just don't know. Will he follow you? Like if we're just kind of sailing perpendicular to the end of the map, will he chase us? Like, we don't know that, because we were just spinning at that point because we couldn't do all of it with 3 people. Yeah,
I wonder if there'd be a place that's better to take him where he couldn't attack, like, you know what I mean, like in like a rock structure or something.
Just drive to an island and beach
him. To our home court. Take us down on our home court, Megalodon.
Oh, go to like a lagoon where you can just corner him.
He just goes up and beaches himself. That's how you do it. That's it. So, as we mentioned, we were driving around chasing people down, yelling with our megaphones for us to please help us with the Kraken. And as we're doing this for an hour and a half.
2 hours. I'm not budging on 2 hours. It was 2 hours.
Now you show up, Kraken? Right?
God, that was so infuriating, because we've played it so much, right? And the last time we found him, or he found us, was the inopportune moment when we were trying to turn stuff in at the end of the night. So we're like, oh, look at that. Look at those galleons just parked at that outpost. Let's go find some friends. And literally within 100 yards of the thing, the Kraken shows up and just stops us dead in our tracks. I'm like,
and those sons of bitches and the other guy who didn't help us at all.
For real game?
Yeah.
Literally stocked up for 2 hours to use half our planks because the stupid Kraken shows up.
So guys, you know from my first episode, we didn't see the Kraken forever, like 3 months, right?
Forever.
Wait, how long has the game been out? Did I just make up a number?
I don't remember if it came out in April or March 27th it came out, so the end of March. So it's been 2 months.
Yeah, it hasn't even been 3 months. Sorry.
Well, we did not see all the betas. It's been 3 months.
Yeah. We didn't see the damn thing forever, okay? And we played a lot. So now when we're looking for the other king of the ocean. We run into him. And the worst part about that is our third person had to play the damn drum sequence the entire time, so only 2 of us could fight the Kraken.
I forgot about that. All right, so you guys have to keep the beat like on the way to the Megalodon, and we were holding it, trying to find somebody, so we wouldn't
For
have to
the
go.
2 hours.
Yeah, for the alternating, mind you, so that we wouldn't have to go all the way back to the west side of the map and then go all the way back to the east. So his brother was holding the beat. Him and I are shooting the Kraken the entire time. His brother gets yanked off the boat, gets pulled underwater, and I'm underneath trying to patch, right? And I can hear him playing the drum still, and he's screaming like, pick up the beat. So I start playing the drum in the hall, and I somehow picked it up.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
That might have been the best part of the whole night.
I'm getting killed by a Kraken, but I'm keeping the beats.
It was so funny. I couldn't believe I was able to pick up the beat. I couldn't believe he was still able to play it while getting yanked off. I was like, oh my God. He's like, pick up the beat.
Do you want to tell the viewers how long of the 2 hours I held the beat for?
I'm thinking a solid 45 seconds.
Yeah, not even, I don't think. Guys,
Your host
lazy
is a jerk.
Lazy pirate. Oh, man, I got another point that doesn't really have to do with the shark that much, but I feel like I want to go into our next point. I don't like the tattoos. I mean, okay. They're not all unlocked yet, so I can't really say that there aren't going to be any cool ones, right? But I just feel like they're in spots where you can't even see them. If you want a cool outfit for your pirate, if you're wearing like cool pirate outfit, you're not going to see any of the tattoos. None, I don't think. Is there even any face tattoos or anything?
I mean, I don't check a lot of the cosmetic things since I can't really customize them to look like me. But when you bring up this point, I think it'd be kind of cool if you be able to put a tattoo that you should be able to choose the location on your body.
You should be able to move it around or something.
Right.
Move it around, put it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like in four. There's like 4 quadrants. It's almost kind of like how GTA does it. GTA does it way better, actually. I don't know if you've ever played that, but GTA is like there's just like it's like arm is a section, and then you can flip through all the ones that are for the arm, and like chest. This one is just like a set. I don't know. It feels lazy.
I mean, that's how a lot of cosmetic stuff, it feels lazy and it's super expensive. Where it's like, hey, you want a sale? 90,000 gold.
You haven't even bought. You've bought like a sniper, right?
That was it. It was like 4,000 or 8,000, and I have about 100,000 gold in my bank. I'm not going to waste it on a sale like that. The prices are ridiculous. But when we were trying to find somebody, and I went on one of the people's boats, and I was asking him if he wanted to play. He kind of had a cool shark tattoo. I think maybe you get it when you beat it. I don't know, or it unlocks. But the tattoo looks like he was attacked from the side on his rib cage, and it takes up like half of his like chest. So it kind of looks cool. But outside of that, I haven't seen anything. Oh my God, I want that. Unfortunately, hopefully there's more.
I mean, I think you get some drops when you beat the shark, but again, guys, we wouldn't know because we had not a great time doing that yesterday.
I mean, it was fun while we were doing it. It was just frustrating that our team died, and then me and you spent most of the time paling and fixing the boat.
I'm hoping that by the time the episode comes out that we will have beaten the shark.
Hopefully tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Hopefully. Now, my last point is kind of actually a little bit of an argument that we had last night. Not argument.
Us? Argue? Never.
Spirited debate about I think that it would be so much cooler. Honestly, guys, this shark scares me. Does it creep you out at all?
I wasn't knocked in the water yesterday, so I only saw him from the boat.
I just think that in all these clips, like all these cool promo pictures, it shows the shark coming up out of the water. It's about to come up out of the water compared to the boat. It shows the shark swimming underneath people and underneath the boat. I just think he should be free roaming. We talked about this. It might be free roaming after these next couple weeks. That might be where it goes. But I just think that it should be like the Kraken. I just think if I'm in the crow's nest and all of a sudden I see a big-ass shark swim under the boat, that'll be really cool. You know what I mean? And come in, and then you fight him in that sequence.
Where it takes that similar role from the Kraken where it's random and it will attack you randomly. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what they do in a couple of weeks after everybody's kind of started playing it, so you don't have to do all these. I mean,
You were just saying that you didn't want there to be two things doing the same thing. Like you want.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they're doing. Where hey, do all these. He's going to be located at only this spot, and then you can go fight him if you want. Where the Kraken is obviously free roaming. I looked up on our Xbox to see how far we've been doing. As a collective group, we've sailed about 600 miles. So in 600 miles between the three of us, we have encountered the Kraken twice.
Mm.
And that one was super frustrating. But besides the point, I think it would be cool if he did roam. But the fact that then you have two of them roaming, I mean, they are two strategically different battles, right? Where the Kraken the tentacles come up and they look like weeds and they're not really doing much. And the Kraken kind of circles your boat, or the Megalodon circles your boat. But I don't know if they would be able to incorporate that in the free roaming, because how is your boat then come stagnant, right? With obviously the Kraken grabs you and you can't move. Does Megalodon like come up and bite your ship from the bottom and you're kind of stuck? I mean,
maybe he just keeps chasing you till you anchor and fight him, or however you're supposed to beat him. I don't know. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's a big game, but still for two big ass monsters like that, it might not be that big enough of a game. Like there might not be enough map, because I don't know how the randomness works of it. Do you go to a certain place at a certain time and it pops up, or
is it for every X amount of miles you sail, then you have a chance? Is it like a percentage thing? I'd have no idea.
Yeah, I would really like to know, because it would be cool to see. And again, like if they're starting to come out with more DLCs, like I could imagine maybe like a Moby Dick type thing maybe in the future, like some sort of big whale.
Instead of it hunting you hunting it, that would be a cool little change.
Something like that, but is it always going to be, is there going to be just all these like creatures swimming in the water waiting to kill you? In like a year, is there going to be like 8 like Loch Ness Monster, Megalodon, like all these things trying to kill you? It might not be big enough of a map. You know what I mean?
I think one thing they could introduce that would counter the monsters is have like a ghost ship kind of thing that can attack you and you can attack it, and that be random at night or something. That would be something where you wouldn't have to put a creature under the water. And then you have like Davy Jones pulling up in his ship next to you and you have to fight him off. Like that would be something kind of cool you could bring in that's not dedicated. Like, oh, you're randomly going to find the Kraken and it's not hard. And if you find the Megalodon, you're pretty much screwed if you have 3 people. Like, it's
Ghost Ship.
That'd be cool.
Ghost Ship, very cool. Very cool. Ghost Ship. I think that was the name of my middle school band.
Rare, hire me.
Ghost Ship.
I got ideas, man.
Or like you said, like a Davy Jones ship, just all of a sudden. What is it? Flying Dutchman pops out from underneath.
There's cool. So much pirate methodology.
There's I mean, again, this game hasn't been out for that long. We're talking a lot of possibilities here, and I'm sure they got a ton of ideas. And I really like the megaphone thing. I think that's pretty cool. You can talk to other boats. It could be done a little bit better, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell what the range is, right? Because when we were using it, they seemed to break up a lot. Like we could hear them in and out. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? So we basically went at our own risk to climb onto their ship and talk to them.
Yep, every time. And it worked out. It's about 50%. Right?
I mean, when your brother and I played the night before, they came on our boat. They were talking to us. I think it might have been last night. You might have been getting the food at that point. And they came on the boat and they were talking to us. I'm like, hey, you guys, and we start playing the drum. Like, you guys want to do the Megalodon? Like, oh yeah, let's do it. The text is, shooting up on the left corner of the screen. And all of a sudden I get blunderbussed right in the back. I'm like, well, joke's on you, bitches. We ain't got nothing on the boat.
They don't care. They don't care.
So be wary of those jerks out there that are just trying to kill you.
But then you could also get a teammates of terrible people that die instantly.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to review these points really quick today. Remember, we got about 8 points here on the Hungering Deep, just the DLC. So today we talked about the DLC, like actual game is pretty easy compared to how hard the shark fight is. Make sure you stock up and don't team up with worthless people if you got a choice. Don't park too close to the side of the map. Try to avoid the Kraken as much as possible while you're trying to find the Megalodon. 5 people, seriously? I feel like it's almost impossible to honestly stop the Megalodon from attacking the boat. Completely off-topic point, I didn't think the tattoos were that great and not done very well. And I think that the shark should be swimming around, and other people might think that just summoning it would be better because he's basically taking the Kraken's job. You feel good about those?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Overall, it was pretty solid points. It's just, I want to kill him so bad now.
I know. And usually, guys, on This Game Stinks, we're talking why this game stinks. Again, this game doesn't stink. We played it for a lot. We played it a long time this week trying to fight this shark, and we haven't done it yet. We're still going to keep playing it because it's pissed us off, and we still want to kill it. So, a lot of fun.
This DLC stinks.
A lot of fun. I will say, a lot of fun with your friends, but also we spent a lot of time bitching last night. I'm going to say that because we could not find people to help us. Take that for what it's worth. If you got a lot of people that are going to play with you, then definitely make sure you got 4. So all you got to do is find 1, because if you got 3, it's going to be pretty tough. Signing off here this week. Again, guys, I am on Instagram. This Game Stinks 1. That's the number 1. Also on Twitter, same handle. Kyle, you're at what is it? K-Passano?
K-Passano, or you can find me at the Art of KJP.
On Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram.
And Passano's Passeneaeu.
Oh, I mean, I thought we were friends.
I got it last episode.
You did. Passeneaeu.
I knew it. I know how to spell it. I know how to spell it. So
My
again,
friends
guys.
stink.
Hey, I got the show here. So again, guys, I hope you have a great week. I will see you next time. Have a good one.